Hey, what's up everybody, this is Muth24, and today I'm taking a look at the Mark 6 Evangelion Unit from Bandai's line of model kits from the new movies. And this is, I believe, actually from the 2.0 line. Yeah, sure enough, it says on the box there, from the 2.0 line. I think this was the last model kit they did from the 2.0 line before they started moving into the 3.0 line, and that has even fewer model kits than the 2.0 line did. But basically what they did with the Evangelion rebuild model kits here is they took the basic build of the old ones, made them more skinny, and their proportions a little bit more exaggerated to match the look in the films. The colors are a little bit different as well, and then obviously we have some new Evangelion units like Unit 6 here, Unit 8, which I reviewed already. And the build and the joints and all that are a little bit improved over the originals. But by and large, the build is actually quite similar to the old kits, which is fine by me because I thought the old kits were pretty solid builds anyways. Taking a look at the colors on the Evangelion Unit 6 here, if I don't throw it on the floor. His hand just fall apart, but I'll fix that in a minute. We have some nice black and orange contrast there. Some sort of lightish blue-gray on the face. We have this sort of reddish-orange clear bit on the visor. There are some wraparound stickers on the horn and a couple other places, like the arm guards there. They're not as bad as the wraparound stickers that we got on the old kits. As far as the chest piece, however, there's actually a light blue-gray underneath that, and then you put a sticker over top of it to give it the definition of the dots and the line there. There's some actually, these are full plastic pieces on top of the kneecaps there. That's a plastic piece underneath the knee, plastic on top of the foot there. There's a sticker that wraps around the back of the foot. Obviously, we have these little stickers on the, I guess it'd be like little screws or whatever holding the arm to the shoulder there. We have a sticker here on the shoulder, and the rest of it, for the most part, is all solid plastic and stuff that I panel lined. The hand exploding on me just now is something that I encountered a lot with the Eva Unit 1 Awakening version, and the build from that one and this one are strikingly similar to one another, in fact. So if that happens more across the course of the review, just bear with me. It's not that uncommon with these newer kits to have hands that sort of fall apart on you. And this is a little unfortunate just because I feel like they could have made a more secure connection there, or built them in a way that they didn't have the pieces structured in that sort of way. But more on that in a little bit. The box art here I think is great with the Eva Unit 6 descending from the moon, as it did at the end of Eva 2.0. I think it's a very cool image to have on the box art there, and a very simple but effective one of selling the kit. Along the side here we have a front shot and a back shot of the kit on the included action base with the halo and the Lance of Longinus. Or maybe it's the Lance of Cassius, I don't remember which one because the movies get a little confusing with the lances there. Again, the shot of the moon, another alternate spin on those front and back shots. Bottom and top of the boxes are the same as the front. And then here we have some more action poses. A simple display there with a stand, more of an action shot with the spear raised above its head. There's a spear, there's the ring, and the head, and the ability to adjust the display stand, which you can also use for Eva Unit 1, whether you want to use it for the sort of standard Eva Unit 1 or the Awakening version to have the spear piercing through it, which would be really cool. I didn't do that myself, but I think it'd be a really cool display option if you chose to go that route. As for the instruction manual, same basic image here on the front, a little bit more cleaned up because it doesn't have as much text along the sides there. We have sort of a description of Eva Unit 6 and some screenshots in black and white from the movie. A list of all the stuff that you're going to build. A list of all the parts and trees. And then we start off building with the body unit, which is pretty common for all these Eva units. You build all the inner mechanisms of the body, put the head on, build the arms and legs from there. Here in the middle we have a sort of color palette of everything if you want to paint it. There's the spear again, some of the finer details on the head and the back and the feet. A really cool shot there of the model kit sort of imposed on the animation from the film. A couple of the other 2.0 kits there. You got the Eva Unit 1 Awakening version, which I've already reviewed, the Eva Unit 1 sort of standard version, and the Eva Unit 2 with the rocket booster shoulder packs and the sort of crossbow launcher thing. Finished building the torso and the legs. And then it tells you how to build the spear and the action base, and then how to connect everything. There are separate connectors that come for the spear if you want to have it piercing Unit 1 like that, and separate connectors for the standard action bases if you wanted to use that instead of the one that comes with this kit. I think most of the Eva kits now are coming with these connector pieces for the standard Gundam action bases if you want to use those instead. So for size and color comparison, I've put the Eva Unit 6 here with Units 8 and the mass production Eva Units from End of Evangelion. And even though I've got the wings retracted on the mass production Eva Unit there, you can definitely tell like how big that wingspan is. I've mentioned before in the proper review for that thing that just it looks massive on the shelf. So in terms of like an imposing presence on your shelf, Unit 6 by itself is not going to have that so much. When we get on the action base later on with the accessories, you'll see it has a little bit more of a visual appeal that way. Just standing like this though, kind of a pretty typical looking Eva model kit, but the colors are definitely a little bit more drastic in difference between the orange and the blue than you have with either of these two kits. I think the pink and the yellow and the purple are a little bit more subtle, and the white as well on the Eva Unit 8. And also, Eva Unit 6 has more of the skinny build of the 2.0 line, where the torso is really pinched tight, and then the shoulders really big and the legs super long. As a result, you do kind of have to space the legs out when you're standing these guys up. It's kind of the case with all the Eva model kits, that they'll just topple over if you have them standing perfectly straight, because of the way that they're weighted. But I do find that it stands up pretty well, actually better than the Unit 8 does by itself, and then Unit 5 tends to stand pretty good simply because of that big fin on the back there. It sort of acts as a little kickstand, if you will, to prop the thing up. In terms of the height, though, obviously the new kits are a lot bigger than the old kits. I mean, the mass production unit here is hunched down a little bit just because the torso automatically does that when you fold the wings in. But even so, if I had it propped all the way up, it wouldn't be any higher than the shoulder on this guy. And even compared to Unit 8, Unit 6 is quite a bit taller. I even have the head down a little bit here, and if I push the neck up there, not even with the horn, like you can just sort of see looking at him that his head is quite a bit higher than Unit 8's there. So if you want sort of this tall, imposing looking Eva, Unit 6 is definitely a great option for displaying in your collection there. Anyways, everybody, that wraps up part 1 of this review. Check back for part 2, where I'll show off the posability, the weapons and accessories included with Eva Unit 6, the action base, and give my final thoughts on it. See you then.